Hey everyone, I'm just popping on here to give you my perspective from an astrological point of view. Most of you know me. I'm a kind of an astrological geek, and during this whole COVID-19 craziness, I just couldn't help myself. I literally had to dive in and understand why this is happening. This crisis has thrown a majority of people off their game, and quite honestly, this is not a time to be an asshole, a hoarder, or to live in fear. It's really a time to show up and lean into the challenges, push yourself beyond your limits, my limits, our limits, to band together, to grow and evolve as a collective. Yes, this is a time of crisis, but it also, with crisis, comes opportunities for growth and change. Now, looking at the charts, we have currently 5 planets in Capricorn. We have Capricorn in Moon, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. And right now, Saturn is also conjunct with Pluto. And before I start confusing everybody, I'm gonna do my best to break it down so everybody can understand the whole process and how it works. So we have this planet Saturn, right? Saturn represents social order, conformity, reflexive social limitation. Now, in astrology, the planet Saturn is the ruler of the zodiac sign Capricorn. Now, we currently have Capricorn hanging out with 5 other planets, so I'll explain those. So first we have the moon. It represents duties, responsibilities, things that are actually hidden. Then we have Mars. Mars is usually a planet of action, anger, working towards a goal, or it can be actually conflict with authority figures. The third planet is Jupiter, one of my favorite planets. It's usually about luck, goals, increasing discipline. The fourth planet rules Capricorn. It's this natural placement for this particular sign. So Saturn is kind of like the dad, puts rules and restrictions, very authoritative on us, but it's also about government and corporations, right? Then we have this fifth sign, or fifth planet, I should say, Pluto. Now, Pluto is all about expansion, transformation, big changes, regeneration, the rules of society, business, goals, pushing through difficult times and really claiming your personal power. So we're going to talk about Pluto for a minute. Now, Pluto, again, said it's all about expansion and growth, but Pluto is all about boundaries between one life form or another that is associated with the process of forced change. It's usually about dead ends and rebirths. If things aren't working for us anymore, change needs to happen. And this is where Pluto, this is our Plutos. We're like backed up against or pushed into a corner or a wall, and we are faced with this disaster that gives us this opportunity to create something greater, right? And that's what's happening now. So it's really all about leaning in, letting go, and trusting the process, surrendering to the change, being the change that you want to see in the world, right? Now, let's talk about what conjunct means. How am I going to put this? All right, so conjunct is when you have 2 planets. For instance, we have Saturn and Pluto. They're kind of like hanging out in the same room. And Saturn wants to put rules and restrictions down on us. Then we have Pluto, which wants change and growth, right? Now they're hanging out in this room, so like same room or house, which is like happens to be, say, the house of Capricorn or Capricorn. Now Capricorn is all about responsibilities, and it's about taking responsibility for our shit. Your shit, my shit. It's all about turning weakness into a strength, or something that leaves a great impact on us. An impact so great that change needs to happen. Or it's going to change for us, right? So Pluto in conjunct with Saturn, they're hanging out in the same house, right? Well, this house happens to be the second house, which is your money house. It's all got to do with money. Money, possessions, things of value, not necessarily of money value, but things that you value, things that are valuable to you but mean a lot to you. Or it could be about your self-esteem, you know? I'm not saying it's gonna, we're gonna get so knocked off and fall off our pedestals and be broke as a joke. However, it just means that, it's really time to take inventory, buckle down a little bit, batten down the hatches, take, in these specific areas in your life that need change. It could be, obviously, it's going to be on a global level, right? It might affect someone on a personal level. It might affect business. It's going to affect relationships. For example, these crises are going to come up in you, and something that maybe you don't have a savings account. So really, it's really a time for you to start preparing yourself for your financial future, right? Or perhaps it's something within your relationships. Does your partner share the same values and goals as you? Are you guys on the same page emotionally? Intimacy. One might be willing to grow. Are you willing to grow together? Or is one just wanting to stay where you guys are and not change and be stagnant, which again holds you back? Perhaps it's business or a career. Maybe you're feeling stuck internally. Maybe you feel that you are personally ready for growth and you're not growing with this company or whatever. Where have you been personally limiting yourself? Maybe there's something deep down inside that you've been wanting to do, but you're not believing in yourself. Or maybe you don't think that you can afford it financially to get what you want. Well, the time is now to rise up, make these changes, because you're outgrowing certain events, things, people, places, things, or something that you have to change within inside of yourself. Maybe it's about letting go of your ego and becoming really who you are inside. And with that, you have to shed certain things, certain people, because they're not in alignment with you anymore. They're not fitting in with your belief system. This conjunction is all about ripping down structures and creating something new. Moving away from something and starting something new. Okay? This conjunction started January 12th, 2020. It's lasting about a year. So I know globally we're going to be affected financially. But this conjunction happens every 34 years. And the last one happened in 1982. It's all about hardships, struggles, harmful, impact on your lifespan. Fun fact, though, this is a historical timeline on when Pluto was in conjunction in Saturn, where hardships brought opportunities for growth and change. Now, the first one happened to be June 28, 1914. This sparked the outbreak of World War I. And throughout that global warfare, what did it bring about? Industry. The second event happened on August 11th, 1947. This was World War II. During that time, it brought us into the modern world, into the 50s, right? That growth, all that change. The third one happened in 1982. Many of us remember that one. It was a short, severe recession known as the Reagan recession, right? But out of that came the beginning of the internet, a new phase of wealth. Now we're starting January 2020 with this COVID-19 outbreak. To me, it's like a computer virus, except it's on a human race. It's a wake-up call of things that aren't working for us anymore. So it's showing up where we are weak as individuals, weak as a collective, society, our governments. It's really about rebooting and wiping out that's no longer works and serving for us anymore. It's about opening us up to new opportunities of growth. So during these times, what do? Well, stay calm, stay positive, go with the flow. It's time to take it as an opportunity to do the best that you can. Don't give in to the fear. Don't try to fix it or the situation, a person, place, or thing. You need to listen to yourself, listen to your intuition, listen to your gut. Trust people that you know that truly care about you and have your best interests at heart. Stay true. Stay into your integrity. Like I said, Saturn, Capricorn is like your dad. So with that said, if you're not going to be honest and true, the universe is going to call you out on your shit. Bottom line. So on a personal level, you do these things. You pay off debts. You respect people. You help those in need. You show up. You be present. You face your fears and challenges head on. This is only going to make you not only mentally stronger, but it's going to season you to push, and it's going to push you out of your comfort zone and pushing you through our limitations. It's all about destruction / growth equals opportunities. It's all about evolving. Another fun fact, if you look up the word corona, it means crown or crowning. It's just like when a mother's ready to give birth, her baby is at that second stage when the baby's head's right there and it starts to crown. It's ready to come out and be born into a new life. So with that, that's what's happening in this very moment. We are simply going through a death and a rebirth. It's just growing pains. So I'm going to end with this. When it gets tough, the tough get going, because this too shall pass. But we must work as a team, embrace the changes that are coming, because we are evolving into a new era. That's it. Good day.